want the book.
Excuse me? You're far too old to be reading Legend of Zelda manga. Give it to my son, or you'll regret it.
r/EntitledParents. Our first story we'll be reading today. Entitled Kid wants my Legend of Zelda manga book because entitled Mom says I'm too old for comic books. From user GamerFox505. After that, My Entitled Family, Part 8000. JK. From user Aesthetic Destruction. After that, no, I won't stop using the thing that keeps me alive to avoid upsetting your kid. From user MeowWow912. And then we'll be wrapping up with Entitled Mom wanted my knee scooter so her kid could play on it. From user Ramen Goddess. Thank you so much to our authors for letting us read your stories. And if you're an author who would like me to read your stories next, please submit them to the r/Mr. Reddit subreddit. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories every single day. Entitled Kid wants my Legend of Zelda manga book because entitled Mom says I'm too old for comic books. Greetings, Mr. Reddit. I listen to all of these entitled people's stories every day, and I thought that I was lucky to not encounter any Karen. But boy, I was wrong. So here I am. I'm horrible with spelling, but good thing spelling correction exists. English is not my first language. I give all my characters fake names to protect their identity. And now, the story. Our cast. We've got Seth, me. We've got Drake, my best friend. We've got Karen, the entitled mom. We've got Junior, the entitled son. We have Rebecca, random Uber driver saint that saved me. A bit of background. I was a big Legend of Zelda fan. I bought every game possible and hosted a fan club at my school. For my 15th birthday, my parents bought me the entire Legend of Zelda manga collection. For anybody who doesn't know what manga is, it's Japanese-style comics. And no, I'm not a weeb. On June 12th, Drake and I went to E3 convention. I always take my Nintendo Switch, a manga book, and some money. Important later. And now, on to the story. Drake and me were waiting for an Uber to go to E3. We were sitting on the bench reading my manga book of Legend of Zelda 4 Swords when I see Junior, who's around 7 to 8, looking at my book.
Oh, what are you reading?
Drake. We're reading Legend of Zelda 4 Swords.
Wow, can I read it?
Me. Sure. Junior proceeds to climb up behind the bench to read with us. 5 minutes later, Karen calls Junior to go home. She was a typical style Karen, a lady in her 30s, very short and overweight. It was easier to go over her than around her.
Junior, where are you? Come here so we can go home.
Oh, come on. I want to keep reading the comic book.
Drake whispering to me. It's a manga book, you uncultured brat.
Don't worry, Junior. Is that the book you want to read?
Points at my book.
Yes.
Karen tells me.
Seth, give your book to Junior.
Me. Wait, what?
What you heard. Give Junior your darn comic book. Besides, you're too old for comic books.
I'm 15, and I got this manga book for my birthday.
I don't care how old you are, or how you got it. Just give it to me.
Drake. Lady, this is Seth's book.
I don't care whose it is. Just give Junior the darn book.
Karen, you can buy the collection online for $50.
I don't have enough money to buy that stuff.
Drake and I knew that was BS. She was wearing a purse that looked like it was worth $250. She was also using an iPhone XS. Drake and I also believed she was wearing Gucci. Me. Karen, if you have enough money to buy all that stuff, Why can't you afford just a $50 manga collection? Karen sputtering.
Well,
Insert that classic re.
just give me that book.
Drake. Whoa, lady. You need to watch your mouth. You got kids in front of you.
You don't tell me how to raise my kids.
Mommy, I want that book.
Don't worry, Junior. Mommy is working on it. Give me that book.
Just at that moment, our Uber arrives. Me and Drake just walk away while Karen follows us and yells nonsense about,
Junior deserves that book better than you.
and
I'm your elder, and you should respect me.
my personal favorite,
Besides, you probably don't even know how to read.
Drake opens the door and hops in. Rebecca hears the commotion and rolls down the window. Rebecca. Is there a problem, Karen?
Are you the mother of these two brats?
No, I'm just the Uber driver for them. Karen looks at Rebecca and then looks at my bag.
What have you got in the bag?
My manga book, Nintendo Switch, and $100.
Give it to me, and let me use your Uber.
What the what, lady?
Because you wouldn't give my son your comic book.
Drake. Karen, it's Seth's manga book, and he decides who reads it and who doesn't. Rebecca, seeing the situation. Seth, get in. I get in and attempt to close the door, but Karen's hand was holding it open and climbing in. Get out, Karen.
No, now you're my Uber driver.
Don't make me do something bad. Karen refused and attempted to pull me out of the car. Rebecca stomps on the gas pedal, leaving Karen falling flat on the face. I close the door and buckle my seatbelt, then look back and see Karen chasing us. I open the window and yell, "Good luck on catching us!" Drake tagged along, opened the window, and yelled, "You better start rolling if you want to catch up to us." Remember, I said she was pretty big. We close the windows and start to relax. What's with that woman? Karen tried to take my manga book, and then she tried to take everything from me. She looked like she was ready to rip your head off, Seth. Rebecca. Luckily, I came to the rescue. We both tell her thanks. Don't mention it. Just try to learn how to deal with them. Rebecca dropped Drake and I off at the convention, and we started to have fun. Up to this day, Drake and I are talking about the encounter with the wild Karen. Thank you everyone for reading my story. Any grammar, punctuation, or weird formatting, please feel free to tell me. And Mr. Reddit, if there's a possibility my story ends up in one of your videos, please put the link in the comments. Next we've got My Entitled Family, Part 8000. JK. So I've posted before, always about the same family. Mine. Of course, let's get the obligatory stuff out of the way. I'm on mobile since my entitled mom took my old computer and never gave it back. A different story. Will post if asked. I'm a first-generation immigrant, meaning I came here within my own life, and English isn't my first language. Background. If you don't know, I'm adopted into a Swedish family. This family took me back to America. This family, after the passing of one of my sisters, blocked out Sweden. We don't talk about Sweden. We don't think about Sweden. We don't go back to Sweden. That means no more sister. They literally stopped talking about her. I never received counseling for the PTSD of being in the car when it happened. I still, nearly 10 years later, blame myself. Yet, no counseling. In this family, there's me, my entitled mom, Karen, my entitled sister, Rachel, my weird dad, Carrie, and a few other people who all match the entitled theme, except a few. I personally have a long list of mental health problems and medical from the car accident. Now, on to the story. I am, at the time, 18. It's my birthday. This all happened a few days ago, so I'm 19 now. I tend to celebrate early to make it easier, since my birthday is usually on a weekend. I felt I could just go on a small date with my boyfriend and enjoy my birthday. Boy, was I wrong. My mom calls me. Thinking it'd be a happy birthday call, I answered. She instantly starts going off on me. And at first, I had no idea what she was trying to say because she was speaking so loud. Here's how it all went.
You little jerk. You spent your money on a video game?
Yes? I earned the money, and it's not yours.
How dare you! I'm your mother. I deserve your money. I raised you. Besides, how are you ever going to pay us back if you keep spending money on worthless things?
Pay you back for what?
Raising you, of course. Don't you know how expensive doctor visits are? You made us pay for so long. You owe us.
But you're my parents. That's just part of having kids. At this point, her yelling had scared me into PTSD of her many years of screaming at me and the way she had treated me. I started tearing up. Suddenly, my boyfriend took the phone, having heard my mom's yelling through it, and he was mad. Now, my boyfriend is extremely protective and doesn't let things slide when it comes to people messing with me.
Listen, Karen, it's your son's birthday. Not only is this not the time to do this, but you're hurting him. It's his money, not yours. Never has been. And to get into it, you had to break the law. He's locked out of his accounts. How'd you get in? How dare you! She's my daughter, and I refuse to be spoken to this way. I deserve her money. He's a boy. Respect that, you loud jerk.
She went silent. She could never win against him. That's why he infuriated her so much. This was when we heard a loud shuffling. My weird dad took the phone. He's not entitled, just off. He's like a more expressive Jamie from Mythbusters. He took the phone, sounding tired and exhausted. Weird dad.
Hello, is this OP? No. Karen scared him a lot, so I took the phone. It's boyfriend.
Weird dad.
Okay, hi. She broke into my bank.
His English is much rustier than mine or my mom's.
And looked at your funds. Please forgive her. She just wanted a facial.
Boyfriend.
Like the spa treatment? She did all this BS over a spa treatment? Yeah, she said she's stressed.
He said this in a way that sounded like it was on the same level of boys will be boys, according to my boyfriend. My boyfriend asked them not to call until later when we got home and then hung up, comforting me and taking me to a more secluded area to help me calm down. We had a good rest of the day until I got a notification. My dad sent me money over PayPal, the only thing he has access to besides my actual account, with the note, "Let's just move past this." Apparently, they see $500 as an apology. Thanks for a new game, Karen. If anyone has questions, ask away. I have over 18 years of stories. All names are changed, and I'm honestly sorry if I spelled things wrong or something. Thanks for reading. Next we've got, no, I won't stop using the thing that keeps me alive to avoid upsetting your kid. I have to say, long-time lurker, English is my first language, but on mobile. Here's some quick backstory. Just this past November, I was diagnosed with a very rare genetic liver disease that causes problems with my lungs. Because of this, I need a liver transplant, but until then, I also need to be on oxygen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. About 2 weeks ago, I had a doctor's appointment. This happened while my husband was signing me in, and I sat down. I had this thing that is sort of like a walker with wheels and sort of folds down. I look a little funny with it because I am younger than most people who use this sort of product. While I was waiting for my husband to get me signed in, I was taking deep breaths through my nose, trying to get my breathing relaxed and oxygen flowing. I get out of breath very quickly. I happened to notice a kid, about maybe 6 or 7, looking at me, and I smiled. She was sitting beside her mother. She whispered something into her mother's ear. Her mother, the entitled mother, listened to her daughter and then looked at me.
Can you please take that thing off your face? It's upsetting my daughter.
No?
Well, it's disturbing, and it's ugly. Why do you even have that?
Lady, it's oxygen. I need it.
No one needs that.
Taking a deep breath.
Plenty of oxygen right here in this room.
How nice of you that you have functioning lungs. We don't all have that luck. I can't breathe without this.
It's just a crutch, or you're using it for attention.
I went to say something, but a nice man sitting 2 seats down from me spoke up. He will be nice man.
Lady, when she walked in here, she was breathing so hard that before I saw her, I thought she had to have been a 600-pound man making his way over here. When I saw her, she was whiter than a sheet. She is now getting some color back. She needs that oxygen. But it's traumatizing my daughter. She shouldn't leave the house if she has to wear that. Lady, it's a doctor's office. You and your kid are going to see sick people here. Anyway, it looked like your daughter was more curious than traumatized. This would be a good teaching moment for you to explain that sometimes people get sick and need that stuff. But,
Nice man cuts her off.
lady, she can sit there with oxygen or take it off and not be able to breathe. What do you think would be more traumatizing for your kid? Explaining how sometimes people need to use oxygen or having your kid watch a young woman not be able to breathe?
My husband came back and thanked the guy and shook his hand. Then the nurse called me back. I have not seen that entitled mom since, but I have other entitled mom run-ins if anyone is interested. And our final story of the day. Entitled mom wanted my knee scooter so her kid could play on it. This happened about a month ago, and I don't really have the best memory, so I'll try my best to describe detail. The kid that belongs to this entitled mom is actually really sweet and was probably like 6. He did nothing wrong, so he's named Sweet Boy. Little backstory. I was at a Target. My mom brought me there, but she left me to do my own thing. I had ankle surgery not too long ago before this event happened and was not allowed to walk on my foot. If I put weight on it, it hurted anyway. I was zooming my way around the store. It's really fun to do that. My knee scooter goes really fast. Just can't turn corners fast. Learned that the hard way. Heading to my favorite section of Target, the electronics section. I loved to look around at the new technology and see what they have, whilst comparing other tablets and phones to others, including my phone. I was just browsing at this point, entertaining myself at the goods the Target had to offer, even though I wasn't buying anything because I couldn't afford anything expensive. I can't do my job as a lifeguard because of my foot. Later on, after looking at every single possible electronic in the store, I headed over to the Pokemon cards. Note that there were a heck ton of kids around for some odd reason. Maybe because it was the weekend, I don't know. But these things and video games are really the only things I can do with my life. I'm restricted to not moving around all that much, and I cannot do the sports I love, which is water polo, swim team, and marching band. I zoomed past Sweet Boy, and I noticed as I rolled by him, he wouldn't take his eyes off my clearly fashionable knee scooter. I went up to the beautiful array of Pokemon cards, got up as close as I could, and parked my scooter. Has night brakes to prevent it from moving. Mind you, I still had my bad leg on my scooter, since putting 0.1% of my weight will set off my ankle. I was there for quite a while, making sure I'm making a smart choice of buying something I wanted, when I felt my scooter nudge forward just a bit. I looked down to see Sweet Boy trying to go onto my scooter. I politely asked him to get off my scooter, as I needed to get around safely and without pain. He had this disappointed look on his face, but understood and got off. I thought that was the end of it, so I continued browsing through the options of cards that were in front of me. But not even 30 seconds later, I heard the call of the entitled mom. She must have heard me say no to her precious baby.
Ahem.
I ignore her because I thought it wasn't directed toward me.
Ahem.
I turn around, completely confused as to what in the world is going on.
Why won't you let my kid ride your scooter?
I see Sweet Boy behind his mother, looking like he just wanted to fade away and not be in this argument. Because I needed to get around? I can't walk. It's bad for my ankle, and she cuts me off.
Oh, please. I've seen people walk around in the same kind of boot you're in. You should be able to walk, and let my boy ride your scooter.
I'm getting visibly annoyed. Ma'am, this is not a toy. The hospital gave me this scooter for me to use even before my surgery.
Then why do I see those scooters everywhere? You can easily buy one off Amazon or eBay.
I've had enough of her crap.
Then why don't you do that? I'm not made of money. And if your kid breaks this thing, I have no way of moving anywhere unless someone carries me. You clearly are made of money. With your scooter and purse and your clothing. I bet you it won't even cost that much money to buy one of these things in the first place. So, let my son play on it.
At this point, the Sweet Boy has gone so deathly quiet. I feel bad for the poor guy. He didn't want to be involved, and I don't blame him. Making my tone serious.
Lady, I don't have a job because of my foot. My parents are already splurging a lot of money for my medical bills. I'm not going to make them spend even more money on me just because your kid wants to play on this toy that helps me move around the store. But I've already talked to your kid too. He understands my requests for him not to get on my scooter and play on it. But, in a harsh tone, don't say any more to me. You do not have the right to take away a disabled person's way of transportation just because your kid wants it. That's not how life works. Maybe you should go home and get a reality check before you show your face here again.
Entitled Mom was dead silent. A little after, she grabbed Sweet Boy by the arm and started dragging him away as he gave me this look like he felt bad for me. As this was a couple of months ago, my foot has been doing just fine, with no complications. I can walk, but I cannot go back to my job of lifeguarding soon. For those who are wondering about my surgery, I unfortunately forgot the name of the surgery, but it was something I was born with. I had an extra bone in my ankle that grew and hardened as I aged, and over time dislocated one of my tendons, slowly making the arch of my foot non-existent. I had a screw implanted in my foot to keep the tendon in its place and got the bone removed.
And congrats to our re-generals of the day, Anaruyi, Spider, Nightmare, and Rainbow Unicorn Destruction. Become tomorrow's re-generals by dropping as many re's as you can in the comments below.